are Locked On Georgia Tech, your daily podcast on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Tuesday, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Locked On Georgia Tech. My name is Bryce Kuhn. I'm your host, as always. Hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. And listen, I wanted you to thank you as well for making this your first and everyday listen for Georgia Tech content. You're killing the numbers. I appreciate it as well. And you continue to follow myself at Bryce_Kuhn for all the latest details. Locked On Georgia Tech, your daily podcast for your Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Also want to let you know that today's episode is brought to you by Sonos. Sonos is the official sponsor of ESPN College Football. Go to Sonos.com to learn more. Listen, we have an action-packed show on tap for you on a wonderful Tuesday, early signing day eve, we'll call it. I'm going to talk to you about two guys that I think could be big contributors. But first, I'm going to give you a little insight of this state of the program post-Tashard choice. A lot of you have been hitting my DMs. You've been finding me on different social media networks. So I want to lay out how I feel about where Georgia Tech is. But first off, I need you to follow me at Bryce_Kuhn for your latest Georgia Tech news and notes. Cover 24/7 sports, the Georgia Tech side of things. It's a ton of fun. Enjoy being with you guys each and every single day. So make sure to hit that subscribe button wherever you are listening on this podcast. You can find it anywhere where you like to get your podcast as well. We're also going to dive in on the women's side of things, volleyball and basketball. Women's volleyball team wrapped up their season in Louisville. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about a massive win for the women's basketball team. Softball schedule was released on Monday as well. So let's dive in. Post-Tashard choice. Where is this team? Where's the program? A lot of people are ready to jump off the cliff. A lot of people have claimed this is the worst the program's been in ever. A lot of you have sent me, bullet point list items of what has gone wrong. We've lost our best player. We've lost our best recruit. But I think the biggest thing for me and why I'm not ready to jump off the cliff is because it comes back to what are realistic expectations. And I feel like we've got to bring that back down to earth a little bit. When I came on covering Georgia Tech, this was a team that was right when Jeff Collins was hired. And I think the big thing for me was watching Collins, how he wanted to build this team. We know he's a defensive guy first. That didn't happen this year. So you didn't get the results that you wanted. And I get it. You're frustrated. You're mad. And what's the first thing that we do when we're mad? We want to point fingers. We want to blame. But I think there has to be a deeper look at this situation. Whether you like it or not, Jeff Collins is going to get another year. And he should. This microwave world that we live in, of where we want it now and we want instant results now, it's not realistic in this game of football. It's not. Would you rather have a flash in the pan, or would you rather have a built success that lasts a long time? In order to get that, a foundation has to be laid and developed. Now, that's not me sitting here promising you that Jeff Collins is the guy for the job. I don't know. Time will tell. But comments and post about, fire and let's start over. That's how programs get ruined. And I listen, I understand it. You wear the white and gold as a badge. You want to have pride about your team. But come on. This microwave-like success that people are looking for, it's not realistic in this game. It's not realistic in this sport. The best teams are ones that have a foundation and develop it for the future, and they keep doing it. You want to have conversations about parity? Okay, well, look at the teams at the top that are consistently there. And the best example is in Tuscaloosa. They were not built overnight. And I know you're saying, well, I get that. But if you want to be excited, you need to root for what's currently there. I've always hated when fans actively root for a coach or a player or a front office member, if you're not talking about, even you could talk about an AD, to fail so that someone else can come. Why would you just not cheer for your team to do well? Why can't you stand a coach so much that you want to see them fail so they'll leave? Why not just have the success and cheer for the success? Like I said, this is just my opinion. You may completely agree with it. You may completely disagree with it, and that's okay. Join the conversation. I want your opinion. You can hit me up at @Bryce_Coon. But as we head into National Signing Day and we head into the full swing of the offseason, post-bowls, have a little bit of perspective where this program is. They're not very good, but they weren't left in great shape, especially for what they're trying to do. I know a lot of you don't want to buy into the whole thing of it's the hardest rebuild ever. Yeah, it's not the hardest rebuild ever. This is not SMU coming out of the death penalty. Yeah, we get that. You've made your point clear. But to act like this is going to be a transition where, you're going to immediately be an 8-9 win and ACC title contender, yeah, that was never realistic. Yeah, did a nightmare occur? Was your defense a lot worse than you ever thought it would be? Yeah, it did. But this team was not going to challenge big-time contenders consistently. And let's don't kid ourselves. They didn't before. And so I'm just saying that over and over again because I understand that there's frustration. I understand that there's hurt. I understand that there is an anger of what's happening. And I get that. But time will tell. And like I said, I don't know if it's Collins. I don't know what it is. But how about you invest and cheer for what's happening currently? Let's don't boo and let's don't hope that somebody gets fired so it can move along. If something bad were to happen off the field, of course, yeah, you may want changes to happen. But how about just cheering for success? Never understood that whatsoever. When we come back, we're going to have two guys that I think stand out big time that would help this team. We all know they have to build from within. I've told you guys that multiple times, over and over. And I'm excited to bring these two guys to the table because I think that they could be big pieces if they do indeed make their way to the Flats when we come back. BetOnline has you covered all season, football fans, for more props, odds, and lines than ever before. And as bowl season continues, the march to the playoffs is also here. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all the sports action this season. Head to their new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use the promo code LOCKEDON to receive that bonus. From basketball, football, NHL, and more, all the way down to your favorite Vegas casino games, don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season and beyond. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. All right, college football fans, bowl season is here. I've been telling you about Prize Picks, and if you still haven't signed up, well, what are you waiting for, honestly? You're going to miss out on so many things, and I'll tell you, with college basketball kicking up into full swing, college football bowl season, it's only more exciting. And why should you use it? Because it's daily fantasy made easy. Listen, Prize Picks is the leader in daily college sports fantasy, from offering from any prop that anyone could want, anyone in the world, on college football and college basketball, all the star players, your big Power 5 teams, to the lesser-known names of those hot Cinderella teams in the mid-major ranks. Prize Picks also offers any prop that you can think of. You can play points, rebounds, assists, threes made and more in basketball, or hop over to football, touchdowns, interceptions, maybe something else thrown. All you have to do is you need to make sure that you use that promo code LOCKEDON, and you will receive a promo code which will receive a 100% instant deposit match of up to $100 on your first play. You pick 2 to 5 players and over and under on their projections, and you can win up to 10 times on any entry, and it's just you versus the projected numbers. So go download their award-winning app on the App Store and Google Play. Entries can be made in 60 seconds or less, and it's safe and easy with fast withdrawals. So don't hesitate. Check out prizepicks.com and use promo code LOCKEDON, or go to your App Store and download the app today. PrizePicks, daily fantasy made easy. Back here on Locked On Georgia Tech, and I am so excited to share with you 2 people that I think could be very interesting. Before that, I want to thank you once again for making Locked On Georgia Tech your first listen every single day. Now, what you need to do is you need to make sure to check out the Ultimate College Football Playoff Preview 2021. With local experts, betting advice, and draft analysis, the most comprehensive college football playoff preview begins this Friday. So there's 2 names that were on campus a couple weeks ago. They're out of the transfer portal, and I want to talk a little bit about these guys because I think it's interesting to see where do they come from, what can we expect, and is there a realistic opportunity that they can make their way to Georgia Tech. The first one is Paul Tachio. Now, Tachio is a 6'5", 311-pound offensive tackle from Alpharetta High School. He went to Milton, as you guys know. He committed to Clemson, was a 4-star coming out. Entered the transfer portal back on November 9th. You know, if you kind of look at some scouting reports of what Tachio has to offer, this is what Barton Simmons at the time, back in February of 2019, evaluated him. He was projected as a 2nd to 3rd round pick, a day 2 NFL pick. And this is what Barton Simmons wrote. A lineman with good length and size, but has skinny ankles and athletic base. Versatile body type and skill set that could project him anywhere on the offensive line. One of the better movers in the 2020 class. Comfortable playing in space, climbing to second level. Has an offensive tackle skill set, but not yet refined in his pass set. Remember, this was before. Work in progress with elite physical traits that is an eventual high-level Power 5 starter with early-round NFL draft upside. Now, if you go over to the Crystal Ball, if you're into that on 24/7 Sports, and I encourage you to, he's 100% at Georgia Tech right now. There's obviously connections. He's an Atlanta native, playing in Alpharetta. But Tachio would be interesting. He would provide depth. He would provide maybe a day 1 starter. But he would provide something this team needs, and it's an offensive line presence. They did not have that at all this season. Yeah, there were some things that you could say, yeah, that looked good, or yeah, this was okay. They just didn't have it. Another guy is Pierce Quick, 6'5", 290-pound tackle. He's transferring out of Alabama went to Hewitt-Trussville. That's Brent Key's old school. Key was involved in the recruitment of Quick when he was still at Alabama. But this is something that I'm very interested in because between Pierce Quick and Paul Tachio, what are you doing? You're bringing in 2 guys high upside, but you're bringing in 2 guys that you need. We talked about in the previous segment, I've said it before, skill positions are great, but if it can't block, it doesn't work. And I'm going to keep saying it until some of you get out of my DMs talking about how the sky's falling. You can't accurately grade this team until the offensive line is at a point. They may never get to that point, and then we grade them. And then that's a lack of development. But you've got to get players in there that can contribute. Now, the young guys are on the way, but between Pierce Quick and Paul Tachio, those are 2 guys that you could probably plug and play immediately, and you need them to, especially Tachio. Pierce Quick has already, been interviewed by our guys over at GoJackets.com and 24/7 Sports saying that he is definitely interested in being in Atlanta. He loves the relationship with Brent Key. But you got to have a little mean and nasty. Georgia Tech lacked that completely. They got some guys coming in. We're going to talk about that on Wednesday that I think could be under the radar. But development is huge. And this offensive line has to be better. Pierce Quick and Paul Tachio are the two must-gets for me in this transfer portal for Georgia Tech. We can talk about a backup quarterback. We can talk about another running back. We can talk about those things. It doesn't matter if you can't block. And listen, don't get ahead of yourself with all these other things. You can add quality pieces around, but this offensive line has to be better if any of that's going to work. If any of that is going to work in 2022, the offensive line has to be better. These need to be the two main targets. You know that there's mutual interest. Tachio's been very quiet. He tweeted out late on Monday evening that decision will be made soon. But between Pierce Quick and Paul Tachio, you've got to bring both of those guys in. You have got to elevate the standard of play of the offensive line. For those that are quick to judge Brent Key, if I take away your keys, or I take away the engine, or I give you a car with no gas and I tell you to drive it, how are you going to do it? I think in 2022, you're really going to see what Brent Key is made of and his value to Georgia Tech as an offensive line coach. He's going to have some of the younger guys he has a chance to develop. He has the opportunity as a recruiter to bring in Quick and Tachio. And I think you have to. This offensive line has to play better. There's no doubt about it. We talk about it time and time again, but they've got to be better. In order for anything to work next season in the transfer portal, these two have to be made, in my opinion. Now, they may not be, and that's okay. Life will move on, but these are very, very important. But it may move on without the current regime. That's Pierce Quick and Paul Tachio, both of those currently in the transfer portal. By the time this episode comes out, they could be committed. It'd be interesting. But you already lost down to the JUCO kid. And Neal, who's going to Iowa State. You got to bring in these two. You have to. No doubt about it. We come back, we're going to flip the script. We're going to talk about a little bit of the women's sports over on Georgia Tech's side. Volleyball with an amazing run. Women's hoops with one of the biggest wins in program history. I know that they've done a lot, but this was crazy. And then softball announced their schedule as well when we come back here on Locked On Georgia Tech. The holidays are just around the corner, and finding the perfect gift is tricky. I'm not going to kid you, it is. But Omaha Steaks makes it easy to send friends and family an unforgettable gift guaranteed to be loved. Go to omahasteaks.com and enter college into the search bar to order the perfect gift package. For $99.99, you'll get 24 entrees like the world-famous bacon-wrapped filet mignons, chicken breasts, sides, desserts, and so much more. When you use the code COLLEGE, you'll get an additional 8 Omaha Steak burgers free with your order. That's code COLLEGE. We've heard all the reports about shortages and shipping delays, so don't wait. Don't be the person that's waiting for that holiday meal. Order the perfect gift package today at omahasteaks.com, and you'll get a free 8 burgers when entering the code COLLEGE. Achieve gifting greatness with Omaha Steaks. Incredible flavor, incredible value, and 100% guaranteed. omahasteaks.com, keyword college. Back here on Locked On Georgia Tech, we talked about kind of a state of the program, how I feel about it. That might determine if you even got this far in the podcast. I told you 2 key players, the biggest ones that need to be happening. And because you've made this your first listen every single day, I want to talk to you about some of the women of Georgia Tech athletics. And man, oh man, are they unreal. Let's start off with Georgia Tech volleyball. Folks, I had the opportunity, the honor to call some of their games over on the ACC network this season. Georgia Tech's magical season came to a close with a 3-1 defeat at the hands of number 1 Louisville in the 2021 NCAA D1 tournament in the regional final this past Sunday. 3 members were named to all-region team, including McKissick, Brambilla, and Bertolino. But this impressive campaign was only the second NCAA Elite 8 appearance in school history. They tied for the 8th most wins in program's 42 seasons. But this is a group that has been unbelievable all season long. They've shown up. You've shown up as fans inside O'Keefe. But it has been an absolute pleasure to watch what they did with the Sweet 16 victory over number 9 Ohio State. I mean, this is a group that has been a joy to watch. Going inside the numbers with Brambilla, McKissick, and freshman outside hitter Bertolino. You know, Brambilla and McKissick, they're seniors, but there's a lot of talent on this team. When the media voted on Sunday, number 8 seed Georgia Tech swept number 9 seed Ohio State. I mean, that's impressive before losing 3-1 against Louisville. But Bertolino, Brambilla, and McKissick were fantastic. Brambilla had a regional performance for the ages. She led every single squad with a staggering 45 kills. That's 6.43% and an admirable .311 clip. McKissick was just as vital to Tech's success, advancing to the Elite Eight as she assumed her usual role as floor general, doing what she does, queuing up Brambilla and the rest of the Jackets for 84 assists. That's 12% against both the Buckeyes and the Cardinals. And then despite the freshman classification, Bertolino has handled some of the biggest moments all year, and you know why. With her typical steady presence, she doesn't get too high or too low. She tallied 18 kills and 21 digs across the 2 matches with a double-double. And the Argentinian's first well-rounded performance came against the Buckeyes. She totaled 8 kills, 11 digs, an assist, and a solo block. So give credit, let's give a hand clap to Georgia Tech's volleyball team. Michelle Collier has done a fantastic job with a historic season concluded at 26-6, 14-4 in ACC play. The Jackets have now made back-to-back NCAA tournament appearances for the first time since advancing to the Big Dance, 5 consecutive seasons from 2000 to 2004. Hats off to the Jackets in that as well. Now, let's talk about on the hardwood, Nell Fortner, with one of the biggest wins that this program has seen. Georgia Tech knocked off number 3, number 2 at the time, UConn. They opened the fourth quarter against UConn with a 15-1 run to lift Georgia Tech to one of the biggest wins in program history. It was a 57-44 win at McCamish with a raucous crowd, a crowd of over 4,500 people, the second largest in history for a women's game. Saw Georgia Tech, who's now 7-2, snap the Huskies' 240-game winning streak against unranked opponents. Read it again. Georgia Tech won this one, snapping a streak of 240 games against unranked opponents. That's pretty dang good. And this was a back-and-forth battle through 3 quarters. Neither team led by more than 4 points, when the game was tied at halftime at 28-28, and then after 3 quarters, once again, at 39 apiece. But Georgia Tech and Nell Fortner's squad showed an ability to dominate the fourth quarter on both ends of the floor. Georgia Tech shot 42.9%, and once again, they went on a 15-1 run opening that fourth quarter for one of the biggest wins. They scored 10 of their first 11 points of the period, dominating. And I'm just so impressed with Nell Fortner's squad. It's unreal what they're doing. This is a team that has a ton of talent, and they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. And Nell Fortner receiving what she really deserved. ACC Network had her on. This was a program-defining win for the Jackets in McCamish. Unreal effort. Kudos to Nell Fortner in that roster. You need to make your way out, obviously, see the men's team, but Nell Fortner's squad's going to be making some noise in the ACC. Another thing for you, we talked about last week how baseball had released their schedule. Softball released their schedule as well, and they're going to set to battle 9 NCAA regional opponents. Eileen Morales announced the 55-game 2022 regular season schedule. 34 of those games will be home games and 4 ACC series at the MU on campus. A little bit about this. We're not going to go too far in this. We're going to talk a little bit about this as the calendar turns over 2022, but Georgia Tech is entering her 5th season under Morales, who brings back 15 returning players from last season's squad. Among the notables is Trisha Awald, first team All-ACC freshman team catcher Emma Kauf, and the decorated duo is joined by ace right-hander Blake Nellerman, as well as starting middle infielders Bailey Zeitler and Jen Saleo. So this is a fun team. You need to make your way to the Mew, support Georgia Tech athletics all the way around because they're doing a heck of a job. And I know football's not going how you want it right now. The other sports are picking up the slack. Make your way to McCamish. Make your way to the Mew. Make your way to the MAC in 2022. It's going to be a fun season worth of college athletics. Well, listen, that's all the time we have for today. I appreciate it as always. Locked on Georgia Tech, you making it your first listen each and every single day. So now that you've done that, make your second listen Locked On Bets, your daily one-stop shop for all your gambling needs. Locked On Bets, hosted by your boy Q with your expert analysis and insight from Lee Sterling. It's free and available on all platforms. Once again, Bryce Kuhn. Make sure to follow me at Bryce_Kuhn. Put some comments underneath when we post these shows. I want to hear from you. This show is for you guys. And we will see you on Wednesday as we get ready for National Signing Day. I appreciate it as always, and we will see you once again.